Hello. Are we live? We are live. We are live. Oh, we're live also on Instagram too. How nice is this?
Perfect. Hello, hello.
Yes, there's my.
Hello, 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 hello. We are live. Are we? Yeah, we are. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, and hello. That is Martha's quintessential greeting. Hello, hello.
Okay.
Hello, hello. Welcome, y'all. Welcome back to another episode. We're here in the Margarita Room, and today is Thursday, August 7th, 10:40 a.m. where I am. What time is it where you are, Martha?
Uh, it's going to be a funny conversation. My spirit guides are in a very funny mood.
Are
Um,
they?
so as I like it, I think we need a little bit of laughter and joy. 5:40 p.m.
Yes. Okay. Well, we are 7 hours apart. Come through, time zones. Y'all, when we were doing the Awaken the Divine Feminine retreat, Martha and I, it's like, okay, so what time are we going to do it, right? Because we're 7 hours apart. So it's morning time here, it's nighttime where she is. We had to meet in the middle and it worked out perfectly. So if you are still interested in joining our 3-day virtual retreat, I'll put the banner up right here. They're telling me to do that. Uh,
Mm.
Yes, tinyurl.com/join awaken her if you would like to catch us on the replay. Yeah, and also if you buy your VIP ticket, that includes a 1 hour session with either myself or Martha. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yes, very nice. So there you go. And I just want to thank our ancestors for bringing us here together. We were supposed to go live yesterday, but listen, too much going on out there. So we are here today. Thank you for bringing us here together today. Our ancestors, the Most High, our nature spirits, our animal spirits, those who are seen and unseen that wish to contribute positively to this experience, this spontaneous conversation. Thank you so much. Speaking of animal spirits, the hawk came back again. I saw the hawk again this morning leaving the beach, and she swooped right in front of my car and then flew up on a big branch and just stayed there watching. So I'm very grateful for our animal spirits. Do you have any connections with animals, Martha?
With animals, well, I work with various animal spirits. I think I've shared that story many times before. Uh, as I was healing from, well, Jimmy keeps telling me an aftermath. Like after I left an abusive relationship, I started meditating, and it wasn't me choosing to work with particular spirit animals, but yes, spirit animals actually joined me in the meditation, and wolf has been the strongest one, and I could feel the medicine of wolf in my heart space, and it really helped me in terms of courage, but it also helped me to protect my energy as I was developing my spiritual abilities, and also yeah, so wolves. And then I work with other animals. Hi Marta and Ricky. Hi Alti. So yeah, different spirit animals and different animals here on the earthly plane, because some of them, they are our animal familiars. And spirit is reminding me, I did that beautiful interview during our retreat, well, the how to be a psychic medium with Madame Pamita.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can learn more about the spirit animals. So there are other spirit animals alive that I've been close to, but yeah, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
I got distracted because Jimmy's talking, I'm looking at the comments. I'm like,
Shout out to Jimmy. I just saw Mr. Jimmy on my way back to the crib. There is a music temple around the corner from my sanctuary, and it is called Jimmy's Music Temple. And as I was walking up the block, Mr. Jimmy was riding his bicycle down the block. So shout out to all the Jimmys out
You,
there.
you
All
know
the
what I keep hearing?
Hmm.
Well, I'm not going to be introducing all of the spirit guides, but like, well, it's time as well. Like, I have another guide because they're all present here today. I have a very helpful guide. It's the first guide that I've ever connected. Her name is Eleanor, and she's a Victorian nurse nun. So she's very present here as well as like, what about me? She's very fun as well. So she's got the name. And then I have another guide, and well, she doesn't, we don't use a name. She comes energetically, and she's so much present with Jeannie today. So three of my guides, I normally work with them. She is a black woman from the Rikki knows her. She's a black woman from the territory of Brazil. And she's been supporting me on my shamanic journey, but like she's present here like, what about us? Just Jimmy, come on. So like I'm being supported by two women. They're like, yeah, of course there are many
Yes.
more guides, but I thought I'll just introduce two more. So it's not
Hey,
just
y'all.
Jimmy.
Yes,
It's a
not
team of
just
spirit
Jimmy.
guides.
Yes. Hello, Lady Eleanor. And wow. So is this woman from your guide from Brazil, is she like a mother figure?
Hmm, I've never perceived her as a mother figure, but the way she comes, her energy is hi, Courtney, very warm, very nurturing. She was very much supporting me when I was opening up to connecting with spirit. And I talked about it before as well, that she was the one who actually gifted me. I get emotional whenever I talk about it. A cloak of protection. It was a patchwork, colorful cloak of protection that she would put every time when I would be sitting in development circles, and when I would be well, learning and strengthening that link with the spirit world. And whenever my ego was still taking over and it was loud, she would really come close, and she's got the most beautiful smile. She spoke to me when she first came in a meditation, because she came in my third eye, but like so close to me, so I could see her. But like she's not scary. Like she's very, very kind, like more like a grandmother vibe.
Yes,
But
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, she feels very all of those things that you described, very warm, very
And it might be the mother figure, but then I don't have the same association with my mother,
mhm.
because of the complexity of our relationship when she was on earth, and
Yes,
toxic behavior. So that's why I wouldn't associate it like my association with my own mother. But I
yes,
guess for someone who had maybe a healthy relationship with their mother, they
mhm.
would describe that guide as a mother figure. So yeah,
Yeah,
because I said like, no, that's not a mother, because of the
yes.
connotations.
I understand. You know, and this is beautiful that we can talk about our mothers. And here's a picture of me and my mother when I was a young girl. This was after a recital, a dance recital. That's me and Robin. And I
Mm.
love you and I miss you so much, Mom. But also, I want to talk about you and your mom. So, how you put me on the spot, I'm going to put you on the spot. You made this
Hey.
beautiful post
Mm.
on Facebook and on Instagram, and I saw it today. And I'm just going to read the caption to you guys
That will
because
make me cry. But yeah, let's
yes,
put me on the spot.
yes, this is Martha's post from 4 hours ago. She says,
Hmm.
they told me she would die. I said no. My mom had brainstem damage. She was dying. She was in a coma, and everyone, doctors, nurses, even family, told me there was no hope. They wanted to send her to a care home, the same one where my grandfather had died. They said, there's nothing more we can do. But I could feel it in my bones. No, I am not letting her go like this. The hospital wanted her out. She was dying, and they didn't want her to die on their ward. It would damage their stats. They wanted to clear the bed. They wanted me to sign her over. But I'm not the woman who gives up. Mm-mm. Even when they call me crazy, even when I have to stand alone. I prayed to Padre Pio, and I got a sign. Clear, loud, fight for her. So I flew back from Scotland to Poland. I recorded my mom on video. I traveled 300 km to find one doctor, the only one who looked at her and said, she's not dead. She can recover. He was the first person who told me about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to heal, to form new neural pathways, to wake up. And that is what we did. I took her home against everyone. I had no equipment, no machines. I wasn't trained. I was terrified. But I knew I had to try. One nurse helped me. She taught me about catheters, pressure points, feeding. I learned how to blend high-calorie meals, how to use alpha, theta brain waves to stimulate the brain, how to shine a torch to activate her pupils. I talked to her constantly. They said her movements were involuntary reflexes, but I knew they weren't. She pulled out her monitor when I came in. Her blood pressure rose when I spoke. She heard me. And then one day, she woke up and she remembered everything. She said, I heard you. They gave her days. She lived for 10 more years. And I taught her how to walk, how to talk, how to live again. This story is not just about my mom. It's about intuition, about spirit, about knowing things they say you shouldn't know, about fighting when you're cold, mad, about trusting whispers over reports. Because we do not know everything about the brain, and we definitely don't know the full power of the human soul. So if you've been told there's no hope, if you've been told to sit down, be quiet, accept the diagnosis, don't. You might be the one miracle they never expected. Lots of love, Marta. Wow, my G. This is a beautiful picture of you and your mom, Moljata, Margaret, in English, on your wedding day many years ago. And this was the sign that you received from Spirit, a letter. saying that your prayers have been received from the Most High to the Most High. Thank you for sharing this with us, Martha. Can you talk a little bit about the strength that you had to fight for your mother when everyone else said no?
Thank you. This post like makes me feel very emotional. And this picture, it was taken a month before she ended up in a coma. This was the last time I saw her being healthy. So I got married in June, and then a month later, I received that call from my father out of the blue that my mom was dying in a hospital with a brainstem damage. So, yeah.
What was that like to receive that phone call from your dad saying that your
Mhm.
mom was dying?
It's a call that you never want to receive. And at the same time, well, first of all, I couldn't believe it. Like, how come? And it wasn't a denial, but there was also a combination of frustration because I was 1 month before finishing my master's. And my mom was addicted to alcohol. And then I knew it was, well, I had to pull that information from my father. I just couldn't believe that at the hospital my father didn't mention that alcohol that was involved. He was lying to the doctors about my mom being on a diet, and I'm like, that can save her life. Of course doctors knew when they took various medical like blood tests what was really going on, but like I was like so angry at my father, and that's really, I've been doing lots of forgiveness and trying to really forgive him because my father, he contributed to my mom's addiction. He's addicted to alcohol as well. But basically, what happened, I want to first mention, is that my father, who is he's egoistic. He wanted to celebrate his name's day at my parents' log house in the woods, and he brought his friends, lots of alcohol. And once they finished celebrating, they left my mom with tons of alcohol on her own. Everyone knew that my mom struggled with addiction, and they just left her with bottles of alcohol. And it was challenging because I had to, first of all, I want to talk that I wanted to save my mom, but it's not for us to be able to save other people. I fought for her, and she nearly attended a therapy when I was still in Poland. And it was very challenging as well to go back to Scotland. Well, I didn't know anything would happen, but also there are those moments where you feel, oh, I could have done that. Maybe I could have tried more. Of course, it was her choice to go, or sometimes I truly believe with the alcohol, yeah, when we are not coping, when the reality is too overwhelming, we just make those choices. So it was a combination of different things, and that story about Padre Pio, where you're mentioning, is the way who I am as a person. Like, first of all, I am stubborn, or I like to call myself persistent, but I always love to try and check every single option, whatever I do, but especially with the loved ones. So, of course, I know it's common that we Google and we try to diagnose our own loved ones, but I always question things. I'm like, okay, they are telling this, but is it really true? And then I just went and like pulled various academic journals and tried to really, and I started really Googling, but this is where I found Padre Pio. I had no idea. Well, I've always believed in God, but I didn't have any saint I could pray. And I'm like, who can I pray to? So I was like Googling, oh, like this guy sounds cool. I'm like, okay, I'm going to speak to him. Uh,
Yes.
And then I started speaking to Padre Pio, and this is the other story where I got that sign, and because I wanted to really be sure that I was not fighting for my mom's life because of my ego, because of me wanting to keep her. Because if it was her time to go, I wanted Spirit to tell me, just let go, just let her go. So I got that sign, and I knew it was time to fight. So it's a mixture. That call, like the call also made me feel so angry because again, it was about her, not about me. And there hasn't been a single graduation where I had my parents. There hasn't been a single graduation where anyone celebrated me. It's been always about her addiction or everyone else in the family. And I'm sharing it because it's so important, because those are the things that we don't talk about often. Because, of course, I should say, oh, I was so sad. Like, yeah, I was also angry because I wanted to finish my master's and I wanted to finally have some peace, and I got married, and then again more drama. So with that family there was a continuous drama and all the time something. um yeah, so in those moments, like in the moment when I got a call, you get into a fight and flight and the cortisol levels are high and you just go into fight mode. So then I was just very proactive in terms of trying to find the right doctor, anyone who could give me hope. And this is when I found that one doctor. And I read for him. I knew he was not very popular, and he wasn't very popular. This is another thing that I want to say. That's after what happened with my mom, I completely changed my view in terms of donor donation, and I'm not on those lists, and people have been trying to force me because like people wanted to plug my mom out and she was absolutely awake, and it scared me because I witnessed and because I traveled with my mom to various therapy centers. There were other parents of children who were said that they were like dead, and it's very challenging to declare whether a person is dead or not. But it made me feel scared, like how scary it is. Imagine being a patient and being in a log syndrome or coma, and then doctors deciding you're dead because they want your organs. Yeah.
Yes.
And some, which is and I'm like, wow, like I know it's a different subject about ethics or not, but this is where it was all heading, and she wasn't dead. But yeah, they were just like insinuating. And it was a heart breaking experience, especially when I, and my throat gets restricted, especially when I flew to Poland and I had to enter that ICU department, and my mom was just plugged into the monitor in coma. Like her facial expression just looked completely different, intubated, under oxygen mask. Mm, and I was told that she was about to die, and it was very, very, very stressful. Mm, I don't know. And then it was well, the most difficult thing is that you want to fight for your loved ones' lives, but then you encounter all those policies, hospital regulations. They didn't want to give me my mom's medical documents, saying she would have to sign. I'm like, are you fucking joking? Like, she's in a coma, but she's never given permission. I'm like, you have to give me all the documents because I need to try. So I'm like, please give me, because I want to consult it with one more doctor. And you might think I'm crazy, but this is my mom
Yes.
and I need it. And
Yes.
someone gave it to me. They made a copy. I've managed to find someone in an admin. Yeah, so we managed to go around it. And then I needed to record her. Of course, you can't record a person on a video camera in an ICU.
Mhm.
So that was very tricky. And my father did it, and they told us to leave. But like I was like, I don't care, like this needed to happen. They were not allowing us. I'm like, I don't know how we are going to do it. We are going to do it.
Yes.
And then we recorded, and I remember driving to the doctor because I forced my father to come with me. And my father and the whole family, they just wanted to send her to that home care because they thought I was just like crazy. And I remember before we entered the doctor's um, house, I told my father that we are either taking my mom home, or the minute you are going to be ill, I'm going to send you straight away to that home care, and I am not going to look after you. You would not do it. I'm like, check me, watch me. So this was one thing. And then we entered that house, and then my yeah. And then this doctor said the dirtiest home is cleaner than the cleanest hospital or like a home care. You have a choice. So he said to my father, you either take your wife home and she's going to die in 2 weeks from pneumonia. And of
Mm,
course, my father didn't want to be in front of me to be blamed for my mom's death. I still blamed him because of other things, but this was a confrontation. So that doctor really backed me up.
mhm,
And then my father organized himself within 24 hours and got a special hospital bed. And I'm like jumping from one subject to another, but it was very scary because my mom was attached to that oxygen mask, and I was so scared. What if she stops breathing? I'm taking her home. So I spoke with a nurse. She told me where I could like hire one, but deep down I felt like I don't think she's going to need it. But then I had to continuously keep checking, is she still breathing? I'm like, what a huge responsibility. But then like, yeah, well, she was to die, so like why not to give her a chance to live? Like maybe she's
what
going to
they keep telling me is that your mom keeps telling me that it was really a co-collaboration between you and her and spirit, to, and also because she had the will to live, is what she's saying. She had
Mm,
the will to live and you believed in her, so that on this end, on the earthly plane, we're really able to create this magic.
yeah, and then of course there was the whole team because my ex-mother-in-law, I'm grateful to her. She was the only person. It had to be someone out of my family, which breaks my heart as well. Like she was on my page and she traveled to Warsaw, and she was the one for the first 2 weeks that sat with me, and we kept stimulating my mom's like fingers, doing everything that we needed because everyone else, like like it's easier to mourn and forget about people.
Mm,
uh, some family members thought it will be easier, like you pay money, get rid of people, they're at home care, oh yeah, they're ill, like it happens. But she was there with me. She really cared, so I'm really grateful to what she did. And it makes me feel so emotional because no one believed that it was going to be
mm,
okay with her. And then my sister got involved because people started slowly believing in that. And her friends, mom, she used to be, I think she's already on the other side. She used to be a nurse, which means we've managed actually to get like nurses and people who would change the catheter, like people who would teach us how to really turn her over. You need
yes,
technique if
yes,
you're
yes,
not a
yes, yes.
person, but also there were people doing it. And then I remember my sister's friend, once she woke up, helped to put her to a standing position for walking. So there was the whole team involved, but later on, so it wasn't just me, and my father was responsible for getting food, supplements, and things done. But even after when she woke up, it was my father who took all of the credits.
Mm,
Everyone, which really frustrated me because everyone else felt like, what a saint husband. Everyone would have left that person. Everyone, I'm like, for fuck's sake, this is your fucking responsibility. You
mm,
got married to her, yeah, it's for good or bad. So you fucking now, I have to swear, take responsibility. She has taken responsibility for you,
mhm.
your whole life, doing everything. She
Yeah.
should have left you the way you treated her. So now you do your damn job.
Mhm.
So I'm not a popular in terms of my family. I'm the one who's being called a black sheep. I'm the one who's very ungrateful and the one who's considered crazy, but I don't care
Yes.
because I name things for what they are, and it's not very convenient. And when my mom was in that hospital, I remember telling my grandmother, I am going to make the best is it eulogy, like the speech at the
Uh,
funeral?
yeah, eulogy, eulogy.
Eulogy, yeah.
Yes.
I am going to make the best. I am going to call all those friends, everything, like, and my grandmother, you're not going to do it. I'm like, watch me, watch me. Like, of course I would do it. I would still honor it was about my mom and celebrating my mom, but of course I would do it. And every time I would say something, people were scared because they know when I say I'm going to do it, I
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, you're a truth teller.
I
You're a
would
truth
still
teller.
call people's BS because
Yeah,
people pretended, oh, I didn't know this. And I'm like, come on. Like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah. You knew. Wow, Martha, that is really a phenomenal story. You know, so many times we trust what these doctors say, you know, what they print out on a piece of paper. You know, when my youngest brother Troy, rest in peace, Troy. When my youngest brother was Troy was born, he was born with cardiac issues,
Mm,
and they the doctors
mm,
in these white men in white coats in these big
mm,
hospitals, um, told my parents that Troy would not live to be past the age of 2 years old.
mm.
Um, Troy ended up living and gracing us with his presence on this earthly plane for let me come through it, Sarah. For 30 years. For 30 years, Troy was a father to three amazing children, Crystal, Kevin, and Justin, a husband to Stephanie, a pillar in his community. Um, and just like my brother had the will to live, your mother had the will to live, and my parents and, you know, community uh, were behind him, you know, pushing on this end for life, for life.
Mhm,
So thank you for sharing this story with us of um, with your mother. How
mm.
amazing it is that she lived for 10 years after they told her that she wouldn't, that she had
But
near days.
you know, like what you shared, it's also important that, like your brother, he had a power to leave. And I keep hearing, how is she going to concentrate without doing her mantra? How is she going to concentrate? Like, how is she going? I keep hearing, like let her speak. Don't interrupt. Like, how is she going? Like, her
Let's
mind
do
is just
it.
wondering,
Let's
like,
do
how is
it,
she
y'all.
do that? And then we'll talk because it's yeah,
Yeah, y'all. All
it's
right.
not
So
one or the other.
yes, it was okay. So it was just 11:11 here, and y'all heard my alarm. It's now 11:12. That's okay, but we're still doing our money mantra. Ready? Here we go, y'all. 3 times. Ching, ching, ching goes the money tree, and every time ching money comes to me, it all flows in so abundantly from the top, left, right, and up under me. Wave, wave, wave. I'm a money wave. Money flow, money made. Flowing in and out, plus money saved. Debt, 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 all debt is paid. Ching, ching, ching goes a money tree. And every time a ching money comes to me, it all flows in so abundantly. From the top, left, right, and up under me. Wave, 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 I'm a money wave. Money flow, money made. Going in and out, cause money saved. Hey, that, all debt is paid. Last time, ting, 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 goes on money tree. And every time a ching money comes to me, it all flows in so abundantly. From the top, left, right, and up under me. Wave, 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 I'm a money wave. Money flow, money made. Flowing in and out, plus money saved. That, all that is paid. Everything we desire is already on its way to us. Shout out to King Soon 4774 on Instagram, y'all. That is his money mantra. Okay. And every time a ching, money comes to me. All right, now what were we saying?
Well, I was saying, commenting about your brother's
Story, yeah.
will to leave, which is important. But
Mm,
another aspect that I want to bring, since we're having that conversation and I'm already feeling very emotional, is that I had to cope and try to heal so much of guilt because my mom woke up from a coma, and my biggest fear, I think everyone's got it, first of all, like, is because I was like, is it worth fighting for her? Is it worth like waking her up? What if she's not going to recognize me? What if she's not going to be herself? And she woke up and her speech was blurred, but she had a memory. But then I had to go back to Scotland to my husband. And then within 2 months, her health deteriorated because my father treated her like a piece of shit. I have
mm,
to call the names. And basically, he thought that money can buy anything. So he basically left her at home, played his tennis bridge, drank alcohol, and my mom's health deteriorated. So every work that we did during the 2 months, and a miracle that, like, she started deteriorating in terms of her memory, in terms of her physical abilities. So I had to then watch her slowly dying and failing for the next 10 years. And it felt so bad. I know it was his path because he had to then like struggle and look after her. Of course, it
mm,
wasn't him because he was paying for all the therapies, but he was paying. Yeah.
mhm.
Oh, the king of yeah, he was paying money. But I felt so guilty because I left her. She was herself, and I thought, oh, I had my mom back. And no, because he left her. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying it to like blame more my father. I'm saying it is the love that can heal. It is the time that we spend with our family, not money. My mom needed more people to be there. Do you think those friends visited her? No one wanted to visit her because it wasn't okay to look at her speech being
Mm,
blurred.
mm.
All of a sudden, everyone was busy. They didn't have time. People stopped visiting, and when she was healthy, she looked after everyone else. So
Sure.
all those fake people, they were not her friends, and it just broke my heart. And of course, it is in those situations that we learn who is our, yeah, who are our friends. But like, I had to really go through lots of healing and trying to forgive my father as well,
Mhm.
for doing what he chose to do, which was which gave another layer of what, if you think about that spiritual feeling that I needed to go through, because I had to cope with grieving the loss of my mom without being able to physically um, grieve because she was alive, but then she
Yes.
was. So that's why, and then people didn't understand. So initially, I would speak with her every week, and then my father tried to make me feel guilty and wanted me to speak more because he just wanted someone to look after her. He just
Mm,
thought I would be like a free person to really entertain my mom, and he was trying to really make me feel guilty of not spending so much more time. And I didn't want to go there because of the whole family dynamics, but also it was heartbreaking to see my mom failing after what we've achieved and after what she achieved. She just needed a little bit more support. So towards the end, she ended up in a home care just for 1 month, but she was on a wheelchair. She had seizures. Her muscles were like failing. She got that pneumonia because someone didn't look after her and the food got into her lungs. And but I know it was time to go. She went through hell during those 10 years in terms of her medical state. But what she's been telling me today is that this makes me feel like so emotional. I wanted to hold your babies in the physical, and she did. So she managed to fly to hold Anthony, and she was already ill, so we had to put pillows. And then with Ella, but she managed to see her in the physical. So she said, I didn't just want it to happen from the other side. I just wanted to experience that, and I wanted your children to have a memory. They don't have many, but at least to have some pictures with their grandmother. Of course, my children were scared later on of my mom because my mom, what happened was she would speak to herself. It was the thoughts, but she would speak it out loud, the way I sometimes speak, but like
Yes, yes.
it feels differently. But like she would be making like weird, maybe scary voices as well. So it was heartbreaking. But yeah, this is what my mom told me today. I really wanted to give it to your children. I
Yeah.
really, and I wanted to experience that physical hug. So I held on to that. So Anthony was born in 2012. So then, like 2 years after that coma, my heart hurts.
Mm.
And then Ella was born in 2016, and I had a miscarriage in 2015 in between. So, but that's the child she's got on the other side. But yeah, she just wanted to experience that.
That's so beautiful. I was actually seeing her with Anthony um, earlier because I read your post earlier and I said, well, I wonder if she actually got to see Ella and Anthony, and the answer is yes. I was seeing her
Mhm.
with Anthony. So beautiful. How have you taken this experience with your mother, with everything that this was, right? With the hospitals and
Mhm.
prayer and your father and yourself, having to deal with this, to actually use it as fuel to take and transmute for your wellness and your well-being, right?
Mhm.
How have you
Yeah.
how have you done that?
Yeah. I don't know, but even like sharing, it brings emotional flashbacks, and I'm getting pressure on my chest. It's very challenging because there are still triggers because of my father's behavior. He's still not acting in a very good way, but I had to cut cords, so I'm not in touch for a particular reason with my family because he's behaving in a very nasty way, which still impacts me. That's why I'm just getting all those emotions. Mm. And she's here in spirit. And also, whenever some of the loved ones are in spirit, then I feel anxious. So it's her I'm trying to transmit now. She's making me feel very dizzy. She just doesn't want me to feel like angry at him because she forgave him. And I channeled some goodbye letters when she was still here alive, and there was a letter that I read to my father. So basically my father was having an affair with my mom's brother's wife, and they threw my mom's clothes before the funeral. They're married now, but like my father swears at me. There are various things to do with money I don't want to talk about. There's a court case going on, and they behaved in a very nasty way. But my mom forgave him. And in that letter, before he even told me that he was with that woman, she told him that I forgive you cheating on me. I channeled everything, and I just read it to him during my last telephone call. And like you might not believe, like of course what it is, but I read that letter from her to him, and yeah, and it was very, very meaningful. And then I traveled to the funeral for her. This was when he still didn't tell me about what was going on. But 2 weeks after the funeral, that woman moved in. And then they just got rid of my mom as if she had never existed. So that was very, very challenging. And I knew when I traveled for the funeral that it was the last time I stepped into my family home. And what made me emotional, because my mom was very like emotionally abusive as well because of that addiction, alcohol addiction, is that when I entered her room, I managed to get a couple of clothes that belonged to her, but I bumped into a basket with all the letters,
Mm.
all the drawings and postcards that I sent her, and I drove like everything was there. I wish I had taken it, but it's not important. Like she loved me the way she could. And this is what she tried telling me, like, yes, I hurt you. I'm very sorry. But I did the best I could. So I guess I transmuted that pain while healing my own heart, while learning to forgive and communicate with my own mom, because we've been speaking constantly. So I have not been doing it for other people, but the way I show up online is the way I show up offline. So there is no other Marta, it is just me. So I started automatically like sharing about my experiences. And when we share, then we heal. And when we heal others, we heal ourselves. So I feel like it never finishes. But there is part of me that still uh, needs to be very gentle with herself because of the actions that are still happening with people who should love us and they choose not to because they can't or choose not to. So I don't know. A long answer, but yeah, I don't have one
Yeah.
particular one, but yeah.
Wow. Forgiveness is really, so huge when it comes to um, death, grief, um, so many different emotions come up. However, that forgiveness gets tied into it. And when you learn to forgive yourself, others, in your case, your mom, it really, really sets you free. It
Mm-hmm.
really sets you free. I had a similar experience with my mother, who we weren't speaking for the last year of her life before she passed away. We reconnected 1 month before she passed away. And part of that reconnection was forgiveness.
Mm.
And it rings so true um, when you say that your mom loves you so, so much, because she does. She does.
Mm.
And in my mother's death, I realize how much she loves me,
Mm.
that the love never dies. And we are able to transmute any stuck or stagnant energy that we had on this earthly plane and unravel it, so that healing can take place,
Mm.
going forward. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Mm.
Forgiveness is key. When you carry the spirit of unforgiveness, it remains stuck and stagnant like a brick, you know, where you could ask yourself, where do you carry the unforgiveness? If you were just to scan your body, breathe in through your nose and to exhale through your mouth, where do you carry unforgiveness? Is it in your belly? Is it on your shoulder? The key, though,
Mm.
is to release it, and it
Mm.
does take time.
Mm. I feel also, well, Lisa wrote here, Marta, you're so strong, brave, and humble. It isn't easy to deal with others who are hurt. Hurt people, and it is always the closest ones to you. Thank you for this comment. Yeah, it is. And what Ricky's been mentioning about like stored, um, what was it? Like the need to forgive, or
Yeah, forgive.
you were naming, and yeah. Well, I am tapped now to the infinite. It feels infinite. Um, Source of grief and sadness in my heart, and I had to learn how to cope. And I am very, very kind towards it because what we are talking about makes that wound reopen. So it really hurts. So it's nothing that I release, but it's something that I have to really be kind towards myself. So I just want everyone to use your discernment and not be harsh on yourself, because there are things that you are able to alchemize or remove, but there will be things, emotions, feelings, and I'm talking about that human experience, that will be there with you, and that you will keep tapping into in the least or most expected times. And that grief and the sadness, like, she, because I physically lost my mom, like, she has made a physical imprint on my heart, and there is that wounding. And whenever I tell the stories, it reopens, and I know there's that light that shines through that, but physically it keeps then hurting, and I need to then be very, very gentle. I tap, I hug myself, but it's nothing I'm able to like get rid of. So I'm just mentioning for anyone who's grieving to not be harsh on yourself if it has been like years and you have not been able to like move on. I don't think it's ever possible to move on. We just learn how to live with that pain and grief. And yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
Can we tap for like a
Yeah, this is what I've, yes, yeah,
energy?
yes. To
Okay.
real, yes, I
Yes.
am.
To move this
Yes.
energy through. All right, y'all. We're gonna
Thank you.
do a really quick tapping exercise together. We are going to regulate our nervous systems and work this emotion through our body, which is very normal, right? We are going to tap into releasing any stuck or stagnant energy, grief, anger, sadness. Okay, y'all. So let's start with rubbing our collarbones. If you feel a little tender spot, that's the spot right there. Lean into it. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Beautiful. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. This is going to be call and release, y'all. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. So what this means is that what I say, you will repeat out loud. And if I say something that doesn't resonate with you, say something that does resonate with you. Okay? The key is to speak out loud to release it. Let's begin, y'all. This grief that I'm feeling, this grief that I'm feeling, it hurts. All these memories that I'm feeling, that I'm seeing. Why won't it just go away? This grief, it feels stuck. It feels heavy. I just want it to go away. Even though I feel this grief, I deeply love, honor, and respect myself. This sadness that I'm feeling for losing my loved one. I'm choosing to feel it. Even though it's hard. And I cry sometimes. That's okay. I'm human. And I'm choosing to feel these emotions so that they can be released. I have memories of the good times. I have memories of the bad times. I'm choosing to experience it all. I'm choosing to love and honor myself deeply, even though I feel this grief stuck in my body. Hello, grief. I see you. Hello, sadness. I feel you. Hello, guilt, shame, anger, blame. I see you. You cannot hide from me. And even though I feel these emotions, I deeply love, honor, and respect myself. And I am choosing to let it go. Let it fall. I surrender. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Beautiful. Roll your shoulders back. Moving forward. Woo. Shake it out, y'all. Shake it out.
Thank you for this. And you know what's funny?
Tell
You
me.
know what's funny? I will tell you. But I'm not going to reveal everything. But for anyone who's watching it, whether live or on a replay, the next episode of the Perfectly Imperfect Spiritual Podcast is on tapping. I am not telling you who is the guest. I'm not telling you the content, but it's going to be live next week. And it's about tapping. And
Yes!
yeah,
Come through!
yeah. Yeah.
So excited for this episode to drop, y'all. So excited. Of course, I know who the secret guest is, darling. However, y'all, this is a beautiful, perfectly imperfect podcast episode with Martha. Yes. Wow. How do you feel?
I feel so much better. Lisa saying thank you, Rikki. And I love tapping. I always encourage Rikki, like we put each other on the spot and keep like motivating, like do more tapping. I love your tapping, and tapping saved me when I was going through various panic attacks, like when going through CPTSD, when going through that suspected heart attack, driving, like lots of things. And tapping is very powerful, and some people might find it silly, but like try
Yeah.
it really works. And I love when Rikki taps, and I always like, yeah, do more tapping. So I love that Lisa commented, yes, you should tap more so we can tap with you.
Yes. Thank you, Lisa. You both keep it real and help others. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
I love y'all so much. Shall we pull some cards? We're coming up on an hour.
Yes, but our sessions are always
Yes.
long, raw, and we keep healing each other, healing others. And I think you've got used to, both of us, that when we keep coming live, it will be intense, and we keep it even more intense or insane in our WhatsApp. It would not be, our Instagrams would be locked and blocked, like what we cover and the depth and intensity. So this is millionth of what we go via WhatsApp. We keep supporting each other, so it's
It's
lovely to
very
have you
true.
with us.
It's very true. Thank you for that, y'all.
Yes,
Wow.
cards.
Yes. Cards, 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 cards. Okay, y'all. Of course, we're doing the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck by Goddess Abiola Abrams. Shout out to Goddess
I
Abiola.
should get the deck. I'm just kind of thinking I will get the Okay, as you're speaking, as you're shuffling, I'll get, because I've got the angel deck, but I'm thinking like I need to get Goddess Apula's deck as well.
Yeah.
I'll come back in a second.
Okay. So at the bottom of the deck before, we had Goddess Oya. She is the goddess of change, 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 change. Y'all, with this tapping, right? Moving the stuck and stagnant energy through our bodies, that is creating change. That's creating great change. So, Spirit's really asking y'all to tap in, be a pattern disruptor. Try some tapping, try some breath work, move your body, get out in the sunshine, dance a little, just roll your shoulders a little bit. The winds of change are coming. And when you decide to actually tap into your body, that is when great change happens. Even with that 90 seconds of us tapping together, that created new pathways. We have Goddess Queen Ya Asante Ya, goddess of leveling up. Yeah, y'all. Level up, y'all. The tap. Thank you, y'all. They said,
Rikki, I'll only interrupt you. Look, Spirit and Jimmy, they, I don't want to say stole. They hit my other deck, so I'll be using the African Goddess Rising because I couldn't find the
yes,
Faces of Ocean. So we'll be. I'm
yes,
curious what cards I'll be pulling. I just
yes,
wanted to.
absolutely. I love. Yeah, y'all. We have Queen Ya Asantewa. This is the goddess of leveling up. There have been so many opportunities for y'all to level up over these past weeks, these past months, and y'all are doing it, okay? Y'all are doing it. Spirit's asking you, though, to tap in. Literally, tap in. Try tapping. Someone needs to hear that. Try tapping. That'll really elevate you. All right. Yes. So, goddess, they are just here. Okay, y'all. We have Goddess Katesh, Sacred Lust. She is naked. Yes, she is. There she goes. And she's with her two men, Mon and I think their names are Mon and Mintu. Yes, yes, yes. Sacred Lust. Oh, and she's on top of a lion. Come through, Leo season. Yeah, Spirit wants you out here. Show us what you working with, okay? More so, not really talking about lust, but just sacred emotions here, vulnerability. She's naked here on this card. Spirit's really asking you to bare your soul, get emotional, show us that you are a human, and show us all these human parts of yourself, y'all. Show us these human parts of yourself. Okay. I am knowing is Queen Nandi's goddess declaration. She is the goddess of intuition. And Martha, when you were speaking earlier about your mom and just being tapped in and having this knowing of, that she has the will to live and I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight on this side. They were showing me this card, the Queen Nandi intuition. I am knowing. I am knowing. Spirit's really asking y'all to tap in. Y'all are already tapped in. If you are here, you're tapped in. Spirit's asking you to trust your intuition. Trust yourself. Trust the nudges. Trust the whispers. Trust your higher self. Trust those feelings in your gut or on your shoulder or when your hair stands up, or when you hear that beep, 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 or or see those angel numbers. Trust your intuition and repeat after me. I am knowing. I am knowing. I am knowing. Also, Spirit saying, you know best what for your body, right? Don't look to other people to tell you what to do with your body. You are in charge of your body. Whatever you say goes. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, anything else? No, let Marta go. That's what they said. That was right. Oh, yes. This is
Thank
the
you.
second time I'm seeing this at the bottom of the deck, y'all. seven sisters. They are the goddesses of creativity. Now, are these seven women or are they just one in seven different shape shifting energies? Get in your bag, please. Get in your creativity bag. The lane is cleared for you to show us what you're working with. Okay? You feel it. What the people want to know, see, hear. Tune in, y'all. Tune in. This is a period of leveling up. Show us what you're working with. Thank you, Spirit. Your turn.
Lisa saying Jimmy strikes again. It annoys me because I like to know where my decks are, and they're all on a like they're yeah they have their place. It's gone. It's not
Yes.
there. I'll find it later on. So the way I work with this deck is I channel still spirit guides, goddesses, angels, and any affirmations that flow through me. I do not stick to any of the booklets. Sometimes I honor and then I talk about the history of a particular goddess, but I'm just going to go and tell you whatever I keep hearing. But you're
Yes.
used to it, that it's the way it is. So, yeah. Okay. 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 So I set an intention that I'm pulling cards for the Lionsgate tomorrow, so that we will know what to concentrate on, what to release, and what is it that might be challenging as well, and what is it that our hearts they really want us to know. So the strength card we've got is the cosmic power. We are being encouraged to really acknowledge that there is always the light and the shadow part of ourself, that the yin and yang they're showing me. There's this one thing, like, do not be harsh on yourself when certain challenging emotions or things that you're not proud of keep coming up to the surface. This is actually your strength, the fact that you're owning, well, Jimmy said owning your shit. Doesn't Jimmy? No, thank you. I don't know. Like, yeah, like that. You're not like pretending, because no one is just like pure light and oh, I'm like, yeah, I'm saint. I'm like all glitter and like no, like the fact that you're just naming things, that you're not like living in an illusion. You're not delusional if you're watching it, or if you are watching it, maybe you are. So it's the time to stop being so. But no, it's in a position of strength. And this really tells me as well that you're so tapped into the source's energy, that you actually are being supported by the universe, by spirit guides, angels. So keep doing what you're doing. I keep hearing that you're really surrounding yourself by nature, you're being grounded, and it's that grounding that really keeps coming. Stop, like they're talking and I lose my plot. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And yeah, he starts coming through. I'm like, no, I'm not doing trans mediumship. No, because he's kind of like, stay out of my energy. Like, no, you are not taking over. No, no. Cosmic alignment in the heart space, of course. This card always comes, and Ricky's got a beautiful dress. And I've recently had someone on my podcast. He bought just for the podcast episode a shirt with the same pattern. Like, it's perfect. So you know who you are if you're watching it. So like, this message is also for you. You are being called to really keep dreaming big and know that you deserve what's best for you. Like, your heart knows the truth, your heart knows that really good things are coming, but like your mind is denying, and sometimes you doubt yourself and then you spiral down, like, is this even real, is it going to happen? But deep down your heart knows that like things are coming, that you're surrounded by magic, big or small. You are in alignment, but you have to allow your mind to be on board, and your every part of your cell, I keep hearing, but every type of your body, whether it's a spiritual body, physical, emotional, because otherwise you'll not be like completely in alignment. And something that's in a position of challenge that you're being encouraged to work on is the live out loud. Why are you shrinking? Why are you living up to the expectations of other people? Why are you like settling for less? Why are you not speaking your truth? You are being encouraged to, during Lionsgate, to really, well, through the lens of love, of course, but like take an inventory of who shouldn't be in your energy, take an inventory of like maybe self-limiting beliefs, anything that doesn't serve you, anything that's preventing you to live out loud. And live out loud doesn't mean that you have to keep like, I don't know, like shouting, swearing, and be like completely loud. It means that you're authentic and that you are yourself. So when I'm looking at live out loud, live life on your terms, live life whatever it means for you out loud. Out loud for me, it means that you're allowing your heart space, you're allowing your soul to express itself through your human self. So do not deny your soul that experience. Keep shining. I'll pull two more cards. Wounded healer. Wounded healer. Well, this card, whenever this card keeps coming, I'm also being told this is in a position, something you're encouraged to release. Stop being a martyr. Stop being continuously sorry for yourself. Like tap into the sadness of whatever you experienced, but then like release yourself. You do not have to cling and attach yourself to that identity of, oh, life is difficult, life is challenging, I'll always suffer, I went through so much. Because you can create a different identity that's not around suffering and lack. You can heal it. So try and incorporate those experiences into your being. But this card also tells me that this is a wake-up call for other healers, other light workers, to share your truth. And if you're not doing it for yourself, if you're, well, basically what I keep hearing, Jim, is very straightforward. Like, you are being selfish. You're not sharing your voice. You are denying other people their medicine. You're here to help others. So if you cannot speak your truth for yourself, do it to help other people. I keep hearing this is your duty. This is your soul's mission, to be able to speak in whatever space, in whatever place, because it doesn't have to be in an online space. We all have different purposes. And the card that's in a position of, uh, well, again, something that's challenging, it's feeling safe, but in reverse. Uh, Work on creating that sense of safety within yourself. Allow yourself to come to terms that there is no one in the whole wild world that's going to be able to make you feel safe unless you allow yourself to fully embody and feel safe within yourself. So, like, do not seek that safety outside. Try and find that safety inside, because of course we can cling onto people, onto things that we think that make us feel safe, but it's a very short term. So the spirit world is really trying to help you to tend to your own garden, to love yourself. And I know it's like cheesy, oh, love yourself, like how like self-love, like what, like yeah, but like yeah, but like it's real. Love yourself, see yourself through that lens of unconditional love, the way your angels see you, and be kind towards yourself. And the more you're going to be kind towards yourself, the more you're going to love yourself, you are going to then relax and you're going to feel safer. Because if you're not, if you're being critical, how you look, how you speak, how you walk, how whatever, well, everyone's got something else that they are maybe critical towards, then how are you to feel safe if you're self-attacking yourself? And then you are then attracting the same energy and you're allowing other people to attack you, whether consciously or not, because there will be other people who can trigger you unconsciously, because they will be playing those roles, because the universe will give you opportunities for you to heal if you don't do the work. So this is what I keep hearing. Lisa saying, no need for faking it, I will always keep it real. Yes, it's all about being real. And how simple it is, yet how challenging because so many people wear those masks and they feel that, oh, if I am not, people are going to reject me if they see my real self. People are going to leave me. And guess what? Let them leave you, or you open them the door and tell them to shut the door. Because if there will be people who will not accept you for who you truly are, well, they shouldn't be in your place. And like, I know it's challenging sometimes, but then you allow the right people to come to your energy, and then life gets so much better. And I keep hearing life gets then juicy and beautiful. And yeah, I'll leave it here. So be compassionate towards yourself, but own your shit. Yeah, I'll finish here.
Wow, thank you for that. That really resonates. You and I had a very brief conversation, but very potent conversation regarding not being a martyr anymore, shining, removing myself from a situation, recognizing my shine, living out loud, moving into a space where I am appreciated, instead of self-sacrificing just to, so thank you for once again for these messages, and the opportunity to level up, because girl, that was a level up, and it was painful, right? It was a painful lesson that I had to learn, and I had to feel. I had to feel and be aware of what exactly what it was that I was doing. It wasn't cute. It was cute. But when you called me on my shit, that really it really disrupted that pattern where I was able to see, oh,
And that's what friends do. That's what friends do. I'll interrupt you. This is what I wish everyone to have, like friends like Rikki. And I hope Rikki appreciates me because we pinpoint like that's like this is not serving you. And like with the right people, you'll not be scared of telling people or showing them the truth. Because I had in the past relationships where I would be scared telling people what I could see. And I'm not talking that I would be reading them all the time, but sometimes, but like I think it's supportive, and I, at least this is who I am. I like people to be able to tell me, oh Marta, like that's nonsense, you're just like
it's very true. And I am very grateful for you and that experience that we had. You disrupted that pattern. I was able to see what the fuck was going on, and like, whoa. And also, there's a door to exit right there. And I'm like, oh, I'll take that door. Thank you. The one with the glitter on it. Yeah, that's the exit door. Now that you see, you want to get off this ride? Yeah, my G, I want to get off. Thank you, Marta. And I opened the door up into my new ooey gooey juicy beginning. So thank you.
What about Jimmy? He's asking, what about me?
We know that you were there, present, front and center for that. Thank you for helping me with that, Jimmy. God damn. All right, y'all. We're gonna get out of here. Let me go through the banners, of course. If you want to holla at me, that is my email for the Margarita Room Podcast at gmail.com. Or if you would like to be on this show with me, on this platform, if you want to have a spontaneous conversation, I am open to that. So email me, holla at your girl. If you're feeling generous, you may cash at me at the Margarita Fund. Of course, for energy healing services like custom EFT, the tapping that we did today, ear acupuncture, Reiki, human design, all spiritual guidance, holla at me. That is my email. And then my website, thebutterflyhippie.com. For my reviews, check me out on TikTok, Forking Around One, on TikTok and Instagram. The universe is working in your favor. The universe is working in my favor. The universe is working in our favor. Let's see. Let's scroll down a little bit. Ah, but of course, the National Domestic Violence Hotline for United States, that is the phone number right there, 800-799 SAFE. Or for the UK, that is the number right there. You can text start to 88788. That is the website for the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Remember, y'all, that love is respect and everyone deserves a healthy relationship. Ask, believe, act, allow, and receive. Marta, here is all of Marta's information, martathemedium.com. And you can find her on Instagram at Marta the Medium. Also, we had our 3-day virtual retreat, Marta and I, the Awaken the Divine Feminine. That was so much fun. We danced every day. We pulled cards. We did breath work. We meditated together. If you would like to catch the replay of our 3-day retreat, that is the website right there. If you buy the VIP ticket, you will get an hour session either with myself or Marta, whichever you choose. And Escape the Matrix, Nomad Transitioning Lab. If you are a Black woman or a woman of color who is ready to escape the grips and oppression of the United States of America, like I did, to move abroad, anywhere in the world, but you don't know how, holla at your girl. Cohort number 3 begins very soon. It is a 12-week path. We meet every other week. We have guided meditations. We have tapping. We have a global sisterhood. And by the end of the 12 weeks, you will have in hand your exit strategy. You'll know where you're going, when you're going, bank accounts set up, visas attained. If you have fur babies, you'll have your health certificates. So if you are interested, this is the website to join me, tinyurl.com/free woman path. Okay, y'all. I love you. And we'll see you again. You got anything else for the people?
No. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. It's been fun and also emotional. No, I really appreciate everyone's energy. So thank you. And thank you, Rikki, for doing it with me. It's very meaningful. I'm just loving those. Uh, well, this one's not a coffee break, but like it feels like a coffee break as well. Like our lives, and like I still have coffee, so. But I can feel the beautiful energy of everyone who watches us live and on the replay as well. Like we feel that energy. So I appreciate everyone and you, Rikki, as well. So thank you so much.
Yay. Love you. All right,
Thank
y'all.
you, everyone.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.